Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Danganronpa Deep Dive, a new, hopefully, series where we take a look at weird and obscure lore and trivia within the Danganronpa universe. It will include spoilers for quite literally everything, so you have been warned. But before then, please subscribe and hit the bell, as only a small percentage of our viewers are actually subscribed. So if you enjoy our content, please do that. So with that out of the way, here is the first fact. Makoto Naegi was not the original Ultimate Lucky Student for Class 78th. Yep, you heard that correctly. In a short story by series creator Kazutaka Kodaka, named Makoto Naegi's Worst Day Ever, or Secret File for short, Jin Kirigiri originally pulls out a ballot which had the name of a high school girl on it. Yes, Makoto was in fact not the random pick, but another different girl was. But one thing went to another, and Makoto was wrapped up in a series of unfortunate events, got held hostage by a man named Jutaro Akafuku, who then stole a mailman's bicycle which just so happened to have the acceptance letter for the high school girl, which then burst into flames. And yeah, that really happened. So later, Jin chooses Makoto as the new candidate instead. Although we never actually see him get balloted, meaning that it's quite possible that he wasn't actually picked by chance. And why I say that is because throughout the story, there was quite a spry old man that was kind of around when Makoto was just, doing his thing. And with all the evidence, we can probably say that may have been Kazuo Tengen. So yeah, it's quite possible due to Makoto's awful luck that day and a combination of other factors that's how he really became the Ultimate Lucky Student. I recommend go reading Makoto Naegi's Worst Day Ever for yourself and seeing what you think of it, and let me know in the comments. For our next fact, in Danganronpa, the Illuminati exists, and Byakuya Togami and Sonia Nevermind are both part of it. Now this is a really interesting fact, because during Chapter 2 in Danganronpa 1, Byakuya mentions that the Togamis are a part of a secret council who run the world from the shadows. They are in the library, and there is a book that details all the things about that council, so he welcomes Makoto to look at the quote-unquote interesting people in the file in the library, at the risk of being disappeared. It may have come off as a one-off joke or something, but is actually later shown in the book series called Danganronpa Togami that the name of the council is the Council of Global Controllers, and that Sonia and the Novoselic Kingdom is also a member. There were also 31 other members, who were killed during the World Health Organization's coup d'etat, which is a story for another time. Now you may be wondering why Sonia doesn't recognize Byakuya in DR2 then, but the simple answer is that Byakuya only went to one meeting, and that was during the time period that their memories were all wiped. So during the 78th's first year at Hope's Peak, which would be the 77th second year. So in the end it all works out. This also means that it's likely that if Makoto opened the book in DR1, we would see Sonia in it retroactively. Now for our next fact. Teleportation is actually not all that rare. There are at least 3 characters who have been shown to be able to use Shikuchi Jutsu in the series. The more well-known one you may have seen using it is Ryoma Hoshi in Danganronpa V3, as he escapes Gonto Gokahara at one point with it. The 2 others are Mikura Ikusaba, shown using it to sneak up on people in Danganronpa 0, and Sakura Ogami, who uses it to travel immense distances, as her martial artistry is top-notch in Danganronpa Togami. But what is Shikuchi? Well, let's take a look at the in-universe explanation. Shikuchi, or Shortened Earth, is a martial arts technique that allows the user to close the distance between themselves and their opponent instantaneously, historically described as shortening the ley lines, such that 1000 Li, or approximately 500 kilometers ahead, looks as if it is right before one's eyes. Basically, this means that you know, you could just get trained in teleporting if your martial arts are good enough. Fact number 4. Sparkling Justice isn't Spanish, but is a Japanese migrant. Yep. Sparkling Justice is, more than likely, a Japanese man named Takumi Hijirihara, who moved to Spain shortly after his school went through a terrorist attack. The shock of it caused him to become infatuated with that terrorist and pursue his life of killing killers. Of course, the more astute of you may be asking, wait, isn't this Danganronpa Gaiden Killer Killer a manga by Karaka? It doesn't say Sparkling Justice at all anywhere. And to that I'd say you are correct, because Sparkling Justice is a localization change done by Nisa, who published Danganronpa 2 for the West. His Japanese name is Kira Kira Seiji, or Kira Kira, meaning both to glitter or sparkle, but is also literally Killer Killer, as it is written in hiragana. And as you can hear, Kira Kira and Killer Killer sound very, very similar. Takumi is also shown to speak Spanish, and is mentioned that he lived in Spain in the same frame that a Sparkling Justice mask appears, or the Sun Witch Esperito mask, and a bunch of various other masks. So while it's not 100%, as it can never be unless Nisa also publishes the Killer Killer manga, which is unlikely as they got their rights revoked by Spike Chunsoft, it's definitely a solid 95% certain. Speaking of which, you can survive getting your head cut off if you put it back on. You heard that correctly. In the same manga, Danganronpa Killer Killer, a girl named Misaki Asano gets her head cut clean off in a technique called ReCapitation. The cut is literally so clean that she is able to put her head back on and for it to just reform, and she doesn't die. And yes, Kadaka himself wrote this, so, you know, Danganronpa was never realistic to begin with, I suppose. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave a comment with more obscure lore that you want to see highlighted. If you want to see more of this type of thing, leave a like and make sure to subscribe too. It all helps us out very much. And until next time, have a good day everybody.